Well, hello once more. I am Luna Winters Tarot. I am a psychic medium and I am a divine channeler. So today is the Saturday Sketcherbanders reading, and some of you who are new followers will be going, what's a Sketcherbander? A Sketcherbander is your fallen divine counterpart, your fallen twin flame, that person who came into union with you, and then because they still had karma to deal with, they went away, and you are currently in disunion. You are currently in separation. So I can also be found on Instagram at Luna Winters Tarot, blue tick verified account. And if you would like to buy me a coffee or purchase a personal reading, I can be found on Buy Me a Coffee, again, Luna Winters Tarot. So on with today's Sketcherbanders reading. If you do follow me on Instagram, you will see today that I have channeled a quick reel about this very strong karmic energy that is coming through today. And I decided to name this karmic energy the Temu Baba Yaga because it's a very feminine, fiery energy. And I see it as a person who thinks that they're really powerful and they have a lot of influence. You know, they think, they feed into their own ego. But actually, this person has very little power. They're actually very, very insignificant. And what they're failing to realize is that they used your Sketcherbander as much as your Sketcherbander used them. There was a dual purpose here. Your person ended up going back to this karmic energy purely because there was still karma to be meted out. This karmic energy ended up back with your person from a place of vengefulness, from revenge, because they were discarded when your divine counterpart came into union with you. And I do feel this Temu Baba Yaga was very, very manipulative. She had a huge influence on your connection. Whether you knew this or not at the start, I do feel that your person was in a connection with them already when you came together. They told you that this person was gone. I'm never going to speak to them again. Don't worry. You know, it's done. It's dusted. They're dead to me. But they weren't, because they knew they had been in connection with this karmic energy for some time. So they knew that this karmic energy was, they were like a snake, like a boa constrictor. Once they were wrapped around you, there was never going to be any letting go. This person is really obsessive. Really obsessive. And I feel they stalked your person and your connection. They knew where your person was going to be and at what time and on what day, and they would turn up. And eventually they ground your person down enough that there was a situation where this karmic energy played the whole woe is me, I'm a injured weak lamb card. And I think they spun a bullshit story about, oh, something really bad's happened to me and I really need your help. And out of a place of misguided loyalty, your person went rushing in, because I see there was an embrace, like a hug, just a friendly, I'm really sorry to hear that. But then your person got this sick feeling in the pit of their stomach. They knew they'd been trapped. They knew they were being constricted, and it was straight here in their solar plexus. It was like a kick to the stomach. And before they could push this embrace away, because they were suddenly feeling very sick and, oh my God, my heart's palpating and what the hell have I done? And I'm going really hot as I'm channeling this. This karmic energy had their tongue in their mouth, and it was like a teenage kiss. You know, that first ever washing machine French kiss you have? It was like that. And your person felt physically repulsed by it, because it wasn't your kiss, but it was also sucking the lifeblood out of them. It was just so toxic and ugh. And they couldn't get away. And this karmic energy was literally, their mouth was like almost glued to your person's mouth. And it was like, oh God, sorry, I feel really sick as I'm channeling it. It was like they were placing this darkness, this toxicity, this karma right into the soul of your person. And as I'm saying this, I'm going really, really dizzy. And that's where this cycle of unhealed karma that needed to be resolved began, because your person unwittingly had opened the gateway to this. Everything a reason, I always tell you that, but this is where it began, and she became obsessive. She started to stalk. And I think you were aware that your person became more protective of their phone. There would be strange texts from odd names in their phone, and they tried to fob it off, and they became more anxious. They became more aggressive, more secretive. They started disappearing for longer periods of time. And this karmic energy was buying your person. Your person was in a position where they were financially very insecure. They had enough, but they didn't feel it was enough to give to you. And this karmic energy was playing into that because they have the resources. But what I am going to say, this karmic energy's resources aren't their own. They're stealing resources from their own partner to give to your person. So this is a really tangled web. But your person allowed themselves to be bought and paid for, and they ended up entering into a situation that they were being blackmailed. They really were. It became a, if you're not here on this day and you're not here doing this with me, and we all know what we mean by doing this, servicing me, that's what it was. She was turning up to be fully serviced. If your person didn't do that, the money strings got cut. And your person was reliant on this money for their rent, to pay for their vehicle. It could have been to pay for business insurance. See how I'm scratching my chest anxiously? Your person became so anxious. They were stuck in such a tangled web. But now your person has worked desperately hard. They are back on their own 2 feet. And the ramifications of what they've done are finally settling. For a really long time, your person has been able to deny what they did. They've kept themselves busy. They've been in this tangled web, and they haven't been able to think for themselves. They've been suffering from really, really clouded judgment. Yeah, you see, look, because everything they've been doing has been watched by this karmic energy. Where are you? Who are you with? What time are you going back to your property? This karmic energy has actually been stalking your person. Their life has not been their own. They've been living in a place of anxiety and fear for a really long time, but this anxiety and fear has kept them from ever having the headspace, emotional space, or soulful space to reflect on what went down between you two. And what went down between you two was a very sudden, very cruel, very callous cut-off. It was as brutal as that. One day you were there, the next you were gone. And look at that card that just fell down, grudge holder. This is the energy of this karmic person. And you see, red hair again. The divine feminine, she has red hair. But this karmic energy also does. She was manipulating energies. She's very clever, not intelligent. She's clever at manipulation. She gets to know her victims really well, and she knows their weak points. She'd been in your person's life long enough to know exactly how to reel him back in. And I said in my Instagram reading earlier today that she's baseless. She has no moral compass. She has no moral coding whatsoever. She is an empty vessel of a human being, if I even want to call her that, because her behaviours are just so ground feeder, so depraved and self-serving and ugly that she doesn't even deserve that title. Sorry, I'm just actually, I was genuinely swallowing down some sick right then. That's how this person's energy makes me feel. She started to imitate you. She was watching you. That creeping card, where have I put it? I don't know. It really doesn't matter. She was watching you. She was watching your relationship. She was jealous of the bond that was building between you both. She doesn't even want your person. She just wanted to win. And I've channeled that energy a lot. So she started to mold herself into what she knew your person needed her to be. And what your person needed her to be was you, but without the complications, because I feel it was a time in your lives where things were going wrong for both of you. Things financially were collapsing for him. Things emotionally and around you were collapsing in terms of family and other issues that were going on. So it was building. There was an energy of when you should have been coming together to work these things out, your person started to look outside for external validation because they were feeling less than, because they knew that a lot of the problems you were experiencing, they should have been helping you with, because they were having their own problems, they were focusing on themselves solely. See, look, and they were being really scarce. They started to pull away from you, but then they were telling you it was you pushing them away. You weren't pushing them away. They were being scarce. They were breadcrumbing you. They began to invest everywhere but in you. But their biggest investment, unfortunately, became that karmic energy, who was investing in them financially because she wanted them bought and paid for. Your person basically sold themselves to the devil. You know, they sold themselves to the lowest bidder, and they just became this pussy-whipped, empty vessel who just runs around at the heels of this karmic energy. She barks. They come to heel. They sit. They beg. They service the karmic energy, and they get thrown their bone. Good lad. Back in your box. I'll see you next time. That's how this has played out. And it's really sullied your person's reputation, because whether you know it or not, their friends, their family, they actually did hold you in really, really high regard. Now, you may not have believed this, because as your person was pushing you away, they were talking about you to family, to friends, and not in a good way. They were trying to bring you down to make themselves look better with the discard they were about to make. But people were seeing through this, because people who know your person really well have seen them do this before. They knew this was coming. They were preempting it. They were talking behind closed doors saying, she's back in the picture, not you, the karmic energy. And they're all going, well, what are we going to do about it? And everyone was like, we've just got to let it play out. And so they did. People sat back and let this play out. And in the same respect you did, I know that when you were discarded, you fought back and you were just like, I can't believe you've done this to me. But you were so vulnerable in that moment. It's like your person chose the most vulnerable moment in your life to discard. And that's the only part that you still hold a deep wound for. It's a healed wound, but it's there. It's a memory. And as I'm saying that, my left ear is ringing. So that's confirmation. It's going to be a lifelong wound, because they put their sword in the moment when you needed them most. And I feel in that moment that you needed them most, they needed you most too. And you stepped up to the mark. And then that sent them into an absolute tailspin. But as I've said, they couldn't face their guilt in that moment, because they'd been kept in a place of complete clouded judgment by this Temu Baba Yaga, who is now like this little raging inferno. Because suddenly, because your person's back on their feet, they're paying less time and attention, because they don't give a shit anymore. They're like, yeah, whatever. She's like a mosquito in the ear, at your person, and he's tired of it. He's done with it, because suddenly your ancestors, your spirit guides, and his ancestors have stepped in, and they're going, it's time to wake up now. It's time to wake up from this nightmare you've been living for 12, 18 months, 2 years, however long it's been. It's not more than 2 years, I know that much. And they're saying, come on. And your person is being haunted by your smell, by the sound of your voice, the sound of your laughter. They're hearing your laughter in their dreams, and they're being shown memories in their dreams of really good times you spent together. And also they're being haunted by family and friends who are now looking at their life with this karmic energy, like this mosquito in their ear, not leaving them alone, stalking them everywhere they go. And they're going, I can't shake her off. And they're going, well, it's what you chose. This is what you signed up for. And they're reaching out for help from family and friends. And family and friends are just like, deal with this. You've got to sort this out on your own. You did this, mate. He didn't marry her, by the way. She's already married or in a very long-term commitment. But what he did was sell your soul down the river to go and screw this karmic for money. He became a kept man. He prostituted himself. There we go. That's what he did. He became her bitch. And that's me being ruthless. But that's what happened here. Excuse me, coughing. That's my throat chakra closing, because he's like, please stop telling my story. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll say what I like. It's going out there. And see, this is what he's doing right now. Plastering that fake smile on. How are you today? Yeah, I'm fine. Everybody knows they're not fine. Everyone knows that they're awake all night, every night. The bags under the eyes, the inattentiveness in conversations. They're there, smiling. Smile and wave. But in their head, they're gone, because they know this is going on with you right now. You are elevating. You are ascending. You have reached absolute boss level. And, excuse me, sorry about that. And the thing is, because you're sitting here in this absolute pure fire energy, it's dimming this karmic energy even more. And that's making her more rageful, because she knows that she's lost. As I said at the start, they used each other. He used her for money, which makes him just as bad. But that was his karmic lesson about not being careless with people and going after what you need and not feeding in to somebody else who deserves it. She used him for sex. He used her for money. And look, this is where it's ended up, with him smiling and waving whilst watching you. And believe me, they watch you. You may not think that they do, but they are watching you night and day, just like the karmic is watching them. What's that song? Watching me, watching you. Yeah, we're watching you. The Darkness. I channeled that not long ago. That's that song. I believe in a thing called love. Yeah, see, look, and that's exactly what this was. It was pure bad karma. But this was karma that had to be put to bed. Because this drama starter, this Baba Yaga, she's now spitting little tiny flames everywhere, thinking that she's setting fires and that this big giant bushfire is going to go off and everything's going to be destroyed. But she's insignificant. She's played her role. She has shown your person the value of unconditional love, the value of reciprocity, the value of not selling yourself to the devil, and the value of not selling that divine counterpart down the river to go after what you think you want. Because everything that they thought they wanted turned out to be bullshit, when everything they needed was there in the palm of your hand. And as I'm saying that, I'm seeing like this big flame coming out of my hand here. And this flame, it's like the eternal flame. And I'm hearing the Bangle song now, Eternal Flame. That's you. It's like that eternal flame that burns in a church, isn't it? That's you. And this whole time, your flame has burnt. You didn't extinguish it. You have stayed true to your higher purpose, to your path, and you have allowed your flame to continue burning. And now it's that flame of this Queen Rising who guides your counterpart back home. Now, you're all going to do the classic, I don't want him back. That's okay. Don't put it in the comments. If you don't want your counterpart back because you can't be true to your higher purpose, that's not a me problem, that's a you problem. Don't want to hear it. So, on we go. Your divine counterpart now is in their dark night of the soul. Because they've got a case. They've caught a case. Now, this isn't an STI. This isn't anything like that. They have caught a case of lovesickness. And they are awake night and day, being plagued by thoughts of you. As I've said, your ancestors, their ancestors. They're not letting this go, because it's time for your person to wake up, smell the coffee, and take accountability. And that accountability starts by being true to themselves first and foremost, being willing to enter into that dark night of the soul of self-discovery, because your person has allowed themselves to become someone they are not. I feel when you were in your first union together, you may well have said to them, that karmic energy has ruined you. And they didn't believe you. Because that karmic energy took away their time, they took away their emotions, they took away the meaning of true love. I mean, we can all say, I love you, because that keeps someone there, dangling on a thread. But I love you isn't just words. I love you is what you were giving, which was time, energy, nurturing. You were just there. You were your counterpart's healer. And that's something this karmic energy can never and would never have been. And this is where all these disparities have started to surface. Yep, money's great apparently, but money's not great when you haven't got someone to share it with. Money's not great when you're selling your soul to earn it. Money's not great when actually you know, and you wake up one night in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, unable to breathe, realizing that, yeah, you're behaving like a prostitute to someone who has absolutely no respect for you or no respect for themselves. But you've entered into this depraved cycle. For what? So you can pay your rent 1 month and they can get to screw someone who isn't their husband or their partner. Ugh, I'm actually grimacing. It's so baseless. It's so sad. But this is what karma is. This is what karma does. And I'm not being critical. I know I sound like I'm being critical because we've all been there. There isn't one person on this twin flame journey, the true 144 twin flame, who cannot put their hand up, my hands up, and say, I haven't been in this position myself. Because we have. Because you don't get to where you are ascended and spiritually evolved if you haven't come through this karmic cycle and dark night of your soul yourself. So you can't criticize. You can recognize the journey. You can look at it. You can be frustrated with it. You can bang your head against a brick wall. You can send messages trying to make your person understand. But until they're ready, it's deaf ears. But it's not deaf ears anymore. Your counterpart thinks you are completely unbothered and unfazed. But you're not. Because energetically, remember, your flame is still burning for them. You're still trying to guide them home. They know that they did you dirty. Really dirty. And see how haunted they are? There's no getting away from this. Not now. This is surfacing right now. They've buried their head in the sand for so long, but now it's coming up. It's like a sudden bout of projectile vomit, and they're actually going to speak their own soul's truth, because this karmic is out there threatening to tell all their dirty secrets, and they're like, do you know what, fine. But before the karmic can do it, because they don't want to give the karmic the satisfaction of that now, they're actually going to their friends, to their family, and they're going, do you know what, I lied. This is what I did. And their friends and the family are looking at them going, do you think we didn't know? Do you think we didn't know you were lying? Do you think we didn't know you screwed over a really beautiful, loving person for that? They're going to feel this shame. Their friends are going to give them a bit of a wide berth, their family too, just to let them feel into this space, because this is the space they need to go into now. I actually feel quite sad. It's not a nice place to be. But hey, they're looking you up. They're researching you. In effect, they're kind of cyber stalking you, not in a nasty way, but in a, They want to know what's going on in your life, and actually they need to know that you're happy. Although that sounds weird, they need to know that you've been able to pick yourself up and carry on with life. They know how strong you are. They know that you have. There's part of them that sees your happiness and they're regretful because they're not a part of that happiness. But they also know in their soul that they had to go through this horrific situation in order to be able to come back and share in that happiness with you. This isn't going to happen overnight. This may not come around until between October and February next year. It depends on how long it takes your person to ascend. It depends on how long they want to dick about and still try and play at the, I don't know what to do, I don't understand how it happened. Or are they going to take the hit to the face straight away and go, yeah. Some of them, they're going to have to take a few hits to the face of a reality check. The rest of them, they're quick learners. But look, they really are into you. But their biggest fear now is that you're out and socializing and that other people are around your energy. And it really makes them nervous because they know your worth. They know your value. They know how beautifully attractive you are. Even if you're not conventionally beautiful, there's something about you that is so alluring to other people. That's what they saw. So they know that everybody else is going to see it. And it's got them really, really scared. So this is what they're doing. They're dusting their life off. They're getting their shit together. They're clearing everybody out of their phone who they know is a bad influence on them. And they're cutting them off out of the life. And that starts with that karmic energy. It's a see you, goodbye. Any other hangers-on who played a part in your connection, bye-bye, gone. Because they know until these people are gone, they're never going to be free to move forwards. I actually feel your person is working on getting away. And my right cheek is itching. That's clarification. They are planning a move. They can't do it straight away. They want to move closer to you, your physicality, your location, because you detached yourself, not just emotionally, but physically. And I think you made a move. And my left ear is ringing to confirm. They are working to come and meet you, whether it's at a halfway point or pretty much where you are. They know that they need to be positioned near to you in order for you to ever take them seriously again, because distance and space, it's not going to work, because they need to prove to you that they've got rid of the past. And ridding themselves of the past means upping sticks and coming to this point here, this meeting point where the two of you are going to be. And I won't be at all surprised if you also, after a period of getting to know each other once more, you don't decide to move yourself, because I'm doing this. You're not going to be together like that straight away, but you're going to get closer to each other. For them, it's a big, big thing, because I do feel that there was a plan for you both to move that never came about. And I know I've channeled that before, and the fact it's coming through again is a clarification. That was a sticking point. The reason they didn't move with you the first time around was, one, they were embroiled with this karmic energy, but two, this karmic energy would never have let them go. Now they've let this karmic energy go, and that's why she's doing this raging fire act, because she is being ignored. And this energy, it doesn't like being ignored. It likes being centre of attention. But I see your person, I'm given the imagery now of your person, they've got a fire extinguisher in their hand and they're putting this person out. I mean, the flame's only about this big anyway. They have no power. Your person is squashing them down. They've done the discard. And I could say it's as brutal as the discard they put you through, but actually it's more brutal, because a karmic ending is more dramatic. It's more traumatic. It's a sudden bang. When that decision is made to break that karmic cord, it's a really dramatic. It's torturous. It's traumatic. It's far-reaching, and that's why so many people are going to be affected by it. And I'm doing a circle because it's like your person stood in the middle, And they're circling all these people around them who they know have been karmic energies and have been bad influences. And they're like this energy that sends them all recoiling away. I'm aware that I'm talking for a really, really long time, so I'm just going to get some quick messages here about where things are going to go and what's going to happen. Yeah, see this third wheel, they're gone. They were crying, they were crying wolf. That's how they pulled your person into this situation. But as we've already said, it was divinely destined to happen because it had to. This is what's happening now. After that cord-cutting explosion has gone off, there's this deafening silence because your person is 100% resolved now that they are never, ever going to go backwards, ever. Now, I feel you said this to them. These were words you used. You said to them, don't go backwards because you're going to lose it all. And they didn't listen because they weren't in a position to listen because their ego was there. The karmic energy was in their ear and they're like, yeah, yada, yada. But you were right. And you were 100% spot on. And they know it. And they see now that going backwards did lose them it all. They've lost a lot more than just you. They've lost reputation. They've lost social standing, money, because who wants to keep ill-gotten gains? I see they've returned a lot of that money to that karmic energy. They've worked hard to repay it because they don't ever want that hanging over them. They're like, you know what? Have back. Have it the fuck back. Because if they don't give this money back, there's always going to be that possibility that she can come back in. But this is cut dead. So it's like, take your money, fuck off, don't ever speak to me again. And look, yeah, see, look. 0121 do one. It's just so, yeah, there's no time limit on grief. Redirection is divine protection. This is what went to happen. This is what happened. He's looking at himself in the mirror and he's going, damn, I've been really ugly. This isn't me. Your person isn't an ugly person. They've allowed themselves to become an ugly person, but they're not. They are now choosing to go on their path of ascension and their rebirth because whoop, whoop. Yeah, they've been paid a visit. They be in karmic prison. So that's where this ends. Little Temu Baba Yaga, she's been extinguished. She is very much a thing of the past. There's no going back. None whatsoever. Your person now heads on their journey of ascension, their path of higher purpose, and it will eventually lead them back to you. I'm feeling very nervous as I'm saying that. It will lead them back to you. They've got really bad anxiety gas at the minute. Indigestion. I feel they're quite sick, physically sick. They've, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they haven't developed an ulcer from having really bad habits like smoking and drinking while they've been under the influence of this karmic energy. They are on their path. They will be back. Now, this is written. This is Akashic Records. They do have to make their way back to you. Because look, this karmic debt is overdue. When they come back, it's all about free will. But if you are truly dedicated and you are truly sitting in your soulful purpose, then you know the importance of the Akashic Records and this divine contract. And that's why I'm saying I don't want to see people in my comments going, I don't want them back, they fucked me over. We all got fucked over, sweetheart. But some of us are healed. Some of us see the journey and the importance of that journey. And some of us are fully committed to that journey because we sit in truthful and authentic self and understand how crucial the journey of the twin flame and the 144 is. So if you're one of these people saying yada yada nah nah nah, then you're not on this journey. And I'm going to be as brutal as that because I'm not mincing my words today. Exactly. So here's a message for you, the naysayers. Make a change or stay the same. And what Spirit's saying to you, the naysayers in the group who are sitting watching this video, is it's you who needs to change now, as much as your person. You can sit there and go, they've got to come back to me, right? Well, whoa there a minute, sweetheart. You need to be a better person too. Because if you're sitting here with attitude and giving it all that, then actually, yeah, you're just as bad. And I think a lot of people fail to recognise that. They fail to recognise how their unhealed self affects this journey. They fail to see the projection of themselves in this story. And if you're still sitting in a place of anger and unhealed resentment, then you need to become a better person too. You need to commit to your spiritual purpose and your ascension and higher path. Yeah, see, look, pay it forwards. It takes two. You want to experience the unconditional love and divine union, then you need to pay it forwards by way of forgiveness, of recognition that you too aren't squeaky clean. You too have made mistakes in this life. It takes two to heal. It takes two to make a union. So it's up to you. I'm only saying that to the people. See, that's still there, look. That's still there. I'm just saying that to the people who are going to come in my comments and give it all that. I haven't got time for all that, and I will delete those messages. I've told you what you need to do. It's up to you. We all have free will. And on that note, and on 36 minutes and 26 seconds, I'm going to bid you all goodbye. I have been Luna Winters Tarot, psychic medium and divine channeler. Don't forget, if you'd like to buy me a coffee to thank me for my energy, you can go to Buy Me a Coffee, Luna Winters Tarot. You can also find me on Instagram at Luna Winters Tarot, blue tick verified account. Don't forget to subscribe and like this reading and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future readings from me. Have a really blessed Saturday all. This has been Saturday Sketcherbanders. And I'm going to leave it on that. What's written in the Akashic records is set in stone. This divine union is set in stone. This divine union is the union of the 144, the chosen ones. And come hell or high water, the journey will be completed. Just sometimes it takes a detour.